Seems okay so far. Is that really what it was? Because okay, for those who don't know, Twitch affiliates, you one of the reasons you can't stream 4K on Twitch is because they limit the amount of data that you could send to them, right? And YouTube allows a higher amount of data sent. And so when I stream, I set it so that I can send the most data because I multi-stream. So I want the most amount of data sent out so that when my YouTube stream could at least look better. And then I was always told Twitch will kind of cap off uh, no matter how much you send them. But I've also heard stories where if you send Twitch too much, they'll just fuck your stream. But like it never happened to me before, so I was just like, well, that's. And as an affiliate, not a partner, I can only max at a certain amount. So if anyone's wondering what this is all about, that's what it is. So I guess that fixed it to drop it a little bit. But then when I do that, to switch from 6 to 8 or from 8 to 6,000, then my YouTube stream will suffer slightly. I mean, it's still gonna be alright, but I'd rather have two decent looking streams than one non-op, right? Anyway, thank you for letting me know. So I have 12 remaining Anime Expo commissions. They're all graphite, so nothing's really. All right, so then it's clearly a Twitch. It's a Twitch issue. It's not me. So So Logic, yeah, I see you're on YouTube now. It's all smooth there. Well, whatever happens is just where we're gonna be. And it would have been smoother if I didn't drop it to 6,000 from where it was. Look what we do for Twitch. All this bullshit we do for Twitch. Won't even. I was about to get mad. Won't even accept me to TwitchCon. They hella accepted me to TwitchCon in Europe. You know, they didn't give me TwitchCon in California, which is where I live. Um, so I can't even be mad at Twitch. You know, I was just like when I was telling my buddy this past weekend because I was staying with him for Anime Expo. He was like, he normally comes with me to TwitchCon. He was just like, all right, so what's the plan for TwitchCon? I was like, I ain't getting to TwitchCon. He was getting all upset. He's just like, what the fuck? Yeah, and then I was getting all heated too. And then eventually, like I was like, wait a minute. First off, I ain't been streaming. I have not been streaming, so I shouldn't get into any TwitchCon. But to be fair, there's a lot of people who don't stream that get into TwitchCon, Artist Alley. Anyway, my point is, I did get accepted, just not the TwitchCon that I wanted. So anyway, think I'm I think I'm ready to move on. Like mentally move on from not getting accepted to TwitchCon. It's all good. It's all good. I appreciate them getting me into the I gotta get the pose. So who here has ever worked with an electric eraser before? Pretty basic item, basic tool. Um, but it does have a buzz noise to it. It just goes like boo, right? Uh I had it in my bag on my way into Anime Expo. You have to go through like a bag check. It's like TSA. And I put my bag on the counter and all I hear is boo. And I'm pretty sure he thought I had a vibrator in there. And I was just like, hey man, you can check for yourself. I got some really interesting commissions uh to do. I have like four not safe for work commissions, and they're all like Pokemon trainer based. Obviously I can't do those on stream, but I will be posting those up in the Discord when it's done. Wait, so actually the body goes like that. I haven't drawn in like 2 days. I spent like the last 48 hours doing paperwork. How about we thumbnail? How about we try thumbnailing poses before I go in on an actual drawing? I don't fucking waste my not my time, my paper. All right, bet I got it. So I've completely re-addicted to nicotine, falling off the horse because I had like a set of vapes sitting around. Like you guys know, I quit cigarette smoking, and I can't even like I physically can't even cigarette smoke anymore, which is good, very good. But I had a set of vapes that was sitting around the office from last year when I was doing the whole home nurse bullshit thing that I was doing, and I was like, all right, when I finish this, I'm good. So I finished all of them months ago, and I was clean. Then I go to a convention, meet up with some buddies, and one of them he gives me a vape as a gift. And I was like, fuck, all right, I'll vape this while I'm here at the convention, and it's all good. And I'm just around bad influences. Also, after doing 14 commissions in one night this past anime expo, I'm not gonna lie, without the nicotine, I don't think I would have been able to do it. Malcolm, what's going on? Oh, yeah, Malcolm, you weren't joking. I just came back from a really big convention this past weekend, and I got to meet back up with a bunch of my people, like a bunch of artists who I haven't seen in a long time. We're all fucking grown ass people now. We're talking about like families and moving. There are a lot of them are California based. Malcolm, you were not lying. I think like I say like 9 out of 10 of them are eyeball in Texas, specifically the DFW area. Yeah, man. It's good to see you, Chris. Yeah, yeah. We're thinking about moving too. Like we're not trying to stay in California. Think about Texas. That's everywhere. I'm like, I get it, but like, no, I know that's a good place, but it's you know how before you were talking about how you're just like fucking everybody out here is California. I also saw so many artists this weekend who are now driving Teslas, and I'm like, that's cool. So this commission is for my buddy. He was nice enough. He came by the table, support. He didn't have an artist table this year, but he came by and picked up a commission. So we're gonna take a little bit more effort. Not to say I'm bullshitting the other ones, but you guys know what I mean, right? Like, no lie, even like south of DFW, like that Midlothian area, you know how it's kind of like nothing out there. To me, that's still too much people. I don't even want that. Like, that's still too much. Like, I want to have to like question anytime a car drives by. Like, what are you doing out here? That's all I want. Are they transplants from just like the past 5 years? If a huge chunk of my income didn't come from fucking conventions, we would have been out the country. Well, not yet because you know we still have unfinished business here. Oh, I can't draw today. I'm the kind of artist who just throws the paper away. I ain't got time for that. I think I'm I think I'm thinking too hard about this. You know what it is? It's because it's a commission for my friend. I want to be like hella extra. If it was just if it was just a regular client that I like didn't give a shit about, let's be real here. The shit would have been. I'd be like, that's good. It's fine. So how's everybody's week? It's Wednesday today? Hey Jane, what's going on? Question is, how was Anime Expo this past weekend for me? For those who don't know, I had an artist table at Anime Expo this weekend. It went really well. That was the first Anime Expo that I soloed in a while. You guys know, majority of the time when I table, I am solo. There's just certain events where I like to um, call in for help from my buddies. But my buddies all have lives and wives now. So uh, I had to solo this one. And yeah, it was good. Um, it wasn't it was far from a mediocre show. It was great, but it did not get close to like that upper tier um sales that I normally could pull. But I'm happy. So anyway, I think that the most interesting thing about the weekend was that was my first time offering pencil or graphite commissions. Because normally, I do like Copic marker stuff. Like I just try to be hella extra. But this weekend, I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna drop the price and kind of not drop the quality, but drop like the rendering. I was like, you know what? Just fucking graphite, just pencil. I'll shade it in with a little stump. $50, really short or really inexpensive. I racked up at con. I did 3 and then 14, so 17 at con, and I got like 20 something. No. Well, 20 something total commissions, but I think I only have 12 graphite ones to do here at home. So, but total is like 20 something because I got some digital commissions too at AX. But in regards to just the graphite, um 12 I think we have to finish here at home to send out on top of the 17 that I did at con. So that was a really interesting little switch of medium, and it worked out really well. I will be at Evo. No. I'll be at Stockton this next weekend for Stockton Con. Stockton, California. Much smaller show. Uh, be able to breathe there a little bit better. Um, but that is a comic book convention, and comic book conventions tend to yield much more commissions than anime shows. Um, so I'm still expecting quite a bit of commission work this weekend. Let's see, we're trying to get that like an arch that we're trying to get like that. Oh, what's going on? Can't draw today. I need to go to sleep. That's my problem. My bad, guys. Kind of wasting everybody's time here. Don't worry. I'll get this figured out. Once we get one done, I'll be in kind of the zone. So, trust me, I'm a, I'm a doctor. Oh, what did Ryan Garcia do now? You have to remember, I've been locked away in a convention for like days, and yesterday was just all like errands. What do you do now? Does he have a fight coming up? No, there's no way. It's too soon. Because for those who don't know, no, we're not gonna get into boxing. Never mind. I was gonna explain what happens. Like they'll get like a temporary, like you could win a fight and still get a temporary ban if you take too much damage, and the doctor's just like, yeah, your ass can't fight for like 9 months. I wonder what he's. I wonder what he's on. Is it meth? Is that oh for life? A lifetime ban? All right. Over the weekend, he went on a huge went on a huge racist Twitter rant saying, "Oh, geez, it was for just slurring his words." Oh, all right. So I remember how I was wondering. I was just like, is he doing meth? I was like, what's he on? Oh, so he's just on that bullshit. That's what he's on. Banned for life, huh? For no reason. I mean, like by no reason, I mean he didn't he didn't have to do all that to himself. That's what I mean. No reason. It's just like, bro, you didn't have to do that to yourself. Like, you could have just. He's terminally on the internet is what his problem is. Like 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 if you have those kinds of thoughts, right? You know what I mean? Like if you crazy and got those kinds of thoughts, just like just keep them to yourself. Like it's got to be everything. It's got to be a mix of everything. Cause he ain't punch drunk. That's all I know. He hasn't taken a lot of damage in the ring, so it's not that. Oh well. Hey man. Um whatever, man. That's how he is, and fuck him. that actually sucks for a lot of other the way I see it is it kind of sucks. And we're talking about boxing, and we barely have anyone in the chat, so it's all good. Uh, I know. There's something about boxing the chat hates. Every time I start talking about boxing, we lose like half of our viewers. I don't give a shit. Anyway, hey man, I'm thinking more how much that's gonna suck for other fighters who could have gotten a really good payday off of him, his name. Like, hey man, get him out of there. Fuck him. Yeah. probably probably more like crack. Not just because if he's been hanging out with if he hanging out with De La Hoya and just he's just on that drink and that ale, then they're just gonna be sitting there in like fishnet stockings. Like, but what he's doing, that's some like crack meth shit. See that they want to go after him for that. I mean, like the betting whatever on himself, and I mean that's not against the law. You could do that. I mean, unless you throw the fight, you know what I mean. That's not his fault that everybody bet against him. Anyway, that's interesting. I didn't know that he was banned for life. That's a long time. Well, actually, considering who he's pissed off, that might not be that long. So, I mean, that's not funny. That's not funny. Whatever happens, I hope they get him in a straitjacket and just put him in like Arkham Asylum or something. I don't know, because then we as taxpayers gotta pay for that though. Anyway, that's interesting. I didn't know all that. Thank you for the heads up. Uh, I haven't caught up on all of my like my podcasts and YouTube channels and stuff I like to listen to because I've been gone the whole for like a fucking week, right? So I'm sure that when I get back online and start like listening to stuff again, uh I'll get all the deets. Damn, this just makes Haney's ass whooping look even worse now. No, how do you how, how Ryan passed those drug tests though? I'm not talking about the PED. I'm talking about just like the pee in a cup drug tests, like the ones you got to take when you apply for a job at Walmart, like that kind of stuff. Anyway, I hope everybody is having a good week so far. I hope if you're attempting to flee the country, um, the result is nothing bad. Now I know he failed for Austrian, but like I'm talking about like I mean like I'm talking about like popping for like coke or whatever the fuck he was doing. Whatever, yeah. Anyway, I don't want to talk about another man's cases. That's not. I mean, we talk about the sport as in like he's banned. Yeah, that to me that's interesting. But everything else he got going on, that's I don't give a shit. What's a millionaire? What's a millionaire with a bunch of natural talent, all the resources in the universe, and like he even looks good. He's even a good looking guy, you know. Like he had everything. So yeah, his case is his cases. That's all on him. Um, when I go and like eventually try and catch up on my boxing podcasts and stuff, I'm sure they'll be talking about it. No lie though, I never thought that Haney was gonna beat him. Like we're gonna go backtrack strictly talking about the fight and not the things around it. I never thought Haney was gonna beat him. I always thought Haney's chin was too soft. I even like I mean it's not gonna happen now because he's banned. But even if Ryan and Tank fought at 140 instead of 35, I still think Tank would have beat him. I don't think anyone from 135 to 140 beats Tank. That includes Tio. That includes Tiafimo. I still don't think Tiafimo could beat him. I'm talking about can beat Tank. I don't think Tio could beat Tank. But I've always thought everybody beats Haney. Anyway, thank you for the boxing update. I appreciate it. So yeah, so I have Evo next week. So I have Stockton Con. I have an artist table of Stockton Con this weekend. Small convention. It's been around for a long time. It's in Stockton, California. That's more of just like a clock in, clock out kind of deal. I could actually drive back home, like home, uh, in between the days of that show because it's 2 days. After the first day, I could just drive home. Like that's how close it is to me. But I'm more focused on the following weekend, which is Evo. Evo, the big video game event, is yeah, that's what I'm really looking forward to. And I have to get the logistics with my buddy, my helper. But if he's able to come through, I will be doing some live artwork there. So he's gonna man the table while I do some live art at Evo. Which means I need to really sharpen up because if I'm moving at this pace, it ain't gonna work. I'm gonna have to move a lot faster. But that's just because I'm sleep deprived and tired from AX and because I was at AX from Wednesday to Sunday. I slept a total of 10 hours the whole time. Tank is I think Tank's the guy. Yeah. Like if he fights Loma, um, I don't think he stops Loma. I think he beats him though. I think it's gonna be that thing where like Loma looks really good. Well, you know what? Loma's again. We're gonna fucking boxing. Loma's a really slow starter, and so is Tank. But thing is, Tank will hit Loma with some hard shit, and then that's a wrap. Loma's not gonna be able to do anything because Tank hits way too hard, and Loma's a small. He's naturally 130. Fuck, he's gonna do with his Tank. Maybe a younger Loma, but a younger Loma would have meant fighting like a 19-year-old Tank, and that's not. I mean, their age is just too wide. One of them was either going to be too young or one of them was going to be too old. So it's whatever. Where we are now, I think Tank beats Loma. It doesn't matter. So the Marvel vs. Capcom piece is going to sell like hotcakes at Evo this year. Oh yeah, I I've sold that piece at Evo once. Last year was my first time selling it at Evo, the MVC piece. But now with that re-release, oh my god. Are you gonna be watching any Evo streams next weekend? I know Tekken 8 is gonna go super hard next week. Actually, let's just say the trapezius gets covered up by that. No, no, no. Come on. Yo, what's going on? Oh, the homemade bread. Oh man. Oh, that shit is so good. But I told my wife we got to back off, or at least I have to back off of um eating it because I'm getting a hella fat. Like, there's no sugar or preservatives in it. My problem is that I just eat hella. That's my problem. Hello. What's that? Let me move the chair. There you go. Dude, it's hella good. We're talking about this homemade bread that my wife makes. Want to lay down? Lay down. Hold on, I gotta get the electric eraser. Shit. Uh, Actually, more excited to announce they're going to be making new DLC, new potential game announcements. It's not a big deal. Most of this will just get blended in when I use the little blending stub. But I still want to clean it up a little bit, just for like, for me. What is that? So I find doing one full section at a time, similar to like when we were working with Copic markers. Remember, I was like, it's better to fully color. Well, not better. With that, you kind of have to because the way the ink dries. Go lay down. Like I said, I'm not super ultra proficient um with like the way I'm trying to do things with pencils. Um so one section at a time, start with the outline of the section, and then start with like the bigger blender, the bigger stub, and just kind of work your way down into it. So we're just gonna focus on that. And there's so much left over on the stub. I could just use it to kind of shade as is right now. Um, let's see. When I was doing the commissions at AX, I was blending too dark. It looks better having like very subtle gradients, very select dark spots, but utilizing a lot of like negative, a lot of white. And then like the harsh, like solid, dark colors, you want to save that for the line work, and that will make everything kind of pop out. And I didn't realize that until like in hindsight. I was doing so many commissions this weekend at the con. I was just like, why is this not looking the way I want it to look? But I was in a rush, so I didn't have time to just kind of sit there and mull over it. And it was a long drive home, so I've been able to figure it out. I was pushing areas too dark, and then I wasn't doing like a second pass over it. So like right now I'm using the big blender. I wasn't doing another pass with the smaller one to get the little details in. But again, that was probably more of a time constraint thing. Thank you. Yeah, this is a it's a commission from my buddy. He came by my artist table at Anime Expo and was nice enough to commission something. So I'm gonna give him something nice in return. I I figure. let's see. So I'm talking about observations I made, um, specifically on the pencil commissions that I did this past weekend, when I was working my artist table at Anime Expo. Little things I would change if I had more time on those drawings, and what I would change. Um, I was just going a little too hard with some of the detail. Like, I don't know how to describe it. I was going like a little too aggressive with some of the lines, and they needed to be softer. Did I get any footage from Anime Expo? I did not. I did not vlog that show. I didn't. I barely even took pictures this year. To achieve my preferred look, I honestly could just use the 2B pencil. Like, that's it. How's hey Thrasher? What's going on? How's Anime Expo? Best asking if it's the best one yet? No. Numbers were down for everybody. Um, I mean, this is a really, really, really good show for me. But best one? No. You know what? Not best in sales, but I think this was the okay. Let me rephrase that. It wasn't the one that yielded the highest sales. I mean, it's pretty up there, but it wasn't the. It didn't beat like the old record. But I think I was satisfied with my performance at this one more than any of the other ones, except for 2019. Um, because a big chunk of what I made this year at AX came from um, pencil commissions. And based on what a lot of attendees were saying, not a lot of artists were taking commissions this year, which you'll find very common in the artist alley these days. Not a lot of artists who are taking commissions. Wonder why that is. It's so hard to do commissions after the show. I'm so tired. That's why I don't take commissions. Anyway, we're all gonna go out for a Korean barbecue. Why do I think numbers were down? Oh, I mean, I can't speak for everybody else. I can only speak for me. My numbers this year were higher than previous year than a lot of previous years, but just lower than my record number. That's the best way to put it. And mine was a little lower because I was in the back of the room. I had a not a bad spot, but I definitely was not where most of the traffic was. That said, there's no bad spot in AX. There are just places that are exceptionally good. And so the room is split into 3 sections. So like the entrance, let's say the entrance is right here, right? There's 3 like sections of the of the floor. So each one of these sections has like I don't know how many fucking hundreds of tables or whatever the fuck. I was in this all the way in the back. So anyway, it was still a very good show. It just didn't break my old record. I know it's easy to look at something and be like, "Oh, you didn't break your old record. That shit sucked." That was fine. It was good. But I'm happy with the performance because I churned out 17 commissions that weekend. Random question: Has anyone seen the hype for Epic the musical? Mm-mm. Was my best when I did that live drawing. That in 2019 when I did that big live drawing, that was my favorite anime expo experience. It was not the highest earner. The highest earner for me was 2023 down in the regular artist alley. Just full disclosure, I make more money in the regular artist alley than I do when I'm doing like the big live art stuff. Like when I'm just slanging, just slanging prints, I make I make better sales doing that than when I do the big, the big drawing stuff. But I'm more proud of those big drawing events that I do because it's harder. That's what she said. Huh? Korean barbecue sounds lit. Yeah, it does sound lit, right? I love paying 60, 70 plus dollars and waiting fucking an hour to go sit down at a table and cook my own fucking food. But it's about the experience. I just described the experience to you. Hello. What's up? Why you got eye bugs? Thank you. What was my favorite commission that I did? Ooh, I don't know if I could remember all of them. I don't know if I could remember all of them. I could definitely, if I put them in, because I put them in the Discord. If I look through them right now, I could probably definitely pick my favorite. Um, Off the top of my head, I'll just okay. If I have to just pick one off the top of my head, knowing that I can't remember all the ones that I did, it was really simple. There was it's a female character. She had like a cloak, and she's just kind of holding her cloak like this, like she's about to throw it off. And I don't know, it's just like I like the way I rendered that one. I did that one on the first night before I was too tired. All the commissions. I mean, like I'm happy with how they came out in general, but man, you could definitely see the dip in quality as like the convention days go by because I'm so fucking tired. Have I watched uh any anime recently? Hell nah. Too busy doing this. Too busy drawing, convention prepping, reading. I mean, I would like to make time. I would like to make time to like binge watch an anime, right? Um, but it's just like I can't. I just can't, man. Like if I ever to sit down and be like, all right, I'm gonna watch this, then next thing you know, the phone's gonna be like right here, and then I'm gonna be like typing it. And I'll be answering emails. Like, you know what? This would be a lot easier if I were typing on the computer. And then I'll come to the office, start typing. I'll play the thing in the background while I'm typing. You know what? The thing's kind of distracting. I'll shut it off. Now I'm just working. Like that's what's gonna happen. I do have a couple of things on my watch list for the week, though. Um, I will be. I'm caught up, catching up with the boys. Um, the show. Catching up on that, and then I will be watching finally. Godzilla minus one. I've decided I will make time this week to finally watch that. Malcolm's like, I mean, finally. Another thing that I realized as I was doing a lot of pencil commissions, and I'm just kind of spitting out the things that I've noticed about the like the things that I was thinking about while I was doing so many pencil, graphite commissions this weekend is when I'm going really really heavy dark on the line art so that the blending underneath anyway, when you're doing the line art, I have to really make a point to tilt the pencil a lot forward or a lot higher to get that really sharp edge. When I'm working with a brush pen, like a 99% of the time I can get away with being a lot more like angled because you know, just the way the tip works on that. But this one I could be like, yeah, top. Oh, you watched the minus 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 version. Yeah, there's no platform where it's streaming, but you can purchase the DVD in the Japanese market. For anyone's wondering how to watch minus one, you could buy the DVD on the Japanese market. I appreciate the recommendation, but I'm just gonna be straightforward with you. 1,000,000%, I'm not gonna be able to watch it. I have a list of things that I've been wanting to watch. And like if something ever happened where like I I lose, if I ever lose the ability to draw, see that's a fucking problem. Like I can't sit there and try to watch and enjoy something when I'm at home because I'm just like, well, I have all my drawing shit with me. I could double dip. I can draw and watch at the same time. That's why I like going to movie theaters. Because when I'm at the movie theaters, I just turn off my phone. The only people who are important enough to me to know my phone number are gonna know that I'm at the theater and they know not to fucking bother me. They're not gonna be like putting out a missing persons case on me, right? And then I can't possibly work when I'm in a movie theater. So it really isolates me. And I think that's one of the reasons I am a big theater goer. I know a lot of people fucking hate the movie theater, but like my wife hates the movie theater, which sucks because movies are like one of my interests, one of my big interests. And she was just like, "Oh, I hate the movie theater. Like, can you just wait for it to come out on whatever?" That I had to explain to her after she retired, because my wife doesn't. I told my wife I don't want her to work anymore. After the whole fucking all the treatments and stuff, I was just like, just stay home. I got it. Now she gets to experience what it's like to be able to go to the movie theater. She hasn't been able to go yet because she's not well enough. But I explained it. I don't. I also don't like going to the movie theater on the weekends or like at 8 at night. When there's hella people. I like going to that bitch at like 11 in the morning when I'm the only person in there. That's awesome. Yeah, no, but I understand you guys don't hate the movie theater. You hate yeah, there you go. The ignorant people who make the theater unbearable. That's what you don't like. Now, if you go at like noon, and I know not everyone can do this, if you go at like 11 a.m. or noon or whatever, even like 1 or 2 p.m. is kind of pushing it. Because like you get some kids who get out of school and they'll go to the theaters. Um, it's not the same thing. You go to a movie theater at like 11 in the morning, I promise you're gonna be like, all right, I like movie theaters. Now, the reason I didn't watch minus one in the theaters is actually because my wife. She she's a monster fan, and she's always wanted to watch a movie in the theaters with subtitles. And we just don't get a lot of those. And so I kept putting it off because there were days where it felt like she was well enough to go, but then she's not. She thinks she is, and she's not. So we just kept putting it off. So I just told her I ain't gonna watch it without you then, even if we have to, wait to get it at home on the from the Japanese market. Go sail to the Japanese market. Anyway, so that's why I haven't watched it. And now that she's feeling better, we're gonna make some time very soon to watch it. Oh yeah, I so J Man says it's great that you can support your wife with your artwork. Well, I mean, that's where you all come in. I appreciate it. Like even you guys just you may not realize it, but when we stream, like even if you don't sub, if you hanging out, that actually does help. So between YouTube and Twitch and the conventions and then all the commissions that I've been getting, you know what I mean? Like that's why I never try to fucking hawk stuff on you guys all the time. You know how people like, hey, welcome to my stream. By the way, fucking here's a like here's a link. Like I ain't trying to hawk stuff off on you guys because like whatever it is that we're doing is working as is. And this allows me the freedom to just draw whatever I want. So you guys play a big part as to why. Yes. My dog is whining, but she's lying because I just took you out. What's up? All right, so the next section we do, I did his main, whatever this is right here. We'll do this arm over here. So it's easiest to just kind of outline it. Really aggressive outline. I am using watercolor paper, by the way. You could buy this paper in bulk. This is 9 by 12. You buy that shit for bulk on Amazon. They're really cheap. And it's meant for watercoloring. But I started oil painting on it. I just started doing everything on it. It even works with Copics. I was like, there's some good shit. Normally, I like to use on like higher end paid commissions. I like to do them on Bristol board, because that's a very fancy paper. Um, but I might just be switching over to this full time. It's much cheaper, and I could yield like the same results from it. Oh yeah. Anyway, so you were talking about it's great that I can support my family with my artwork. Yeah, but you know what else it is? It goes the other way as well. Like, okay, so for example, I just got back from Anime Expo and I got hella orders. I got commissions. I got people who ordered stuff there who want it shipped. So I came home with like, I'm talking about like a small book, a small novel of paperwork for shipping labels that I got to make, right? I'm not the one making those anymore. I used to be the one managing all that stuff, but I don't know if you could see behind me. Anyway, you might not be able to see behind me, but I dedicated part of the office to her computer setup that I built. She has like 3 monitors, and anyway, so whenever I need the logistics help that I used to have to deal with all the time, like I do conventions full time. I used to have to be the one hunting down hotels. I used to, used to have to cold email people for commission work. I used to have to make all the shipping labels. But now that she retired, guess who's taking care of all that? So um, it has not only freed her up to kind of, well, first I don't want her fucking working anymore. Um, but it actually allows me to draw more. That's the long. I mean, yes, I've been able to study in my books a lot more. Not as much as I'd want, or not as much as I'd like, but definitely more than I used to. Yeah, so she supports me too. So go in with the big stub, which I'm learning how to make these. I hear it's really easy. So I'm actually learning how to make them, and I want to make a fucking big one. So again, I'm talking about things that I noticed about my pencil commissions from Anime Expo, things that um I didn't like about some of them was the blending I was doing was very streaky, like streaky. What you want is it to be like a solid, just like a solid amount of smear, right? Even if there's a gradation, you want it to be like a solid smear. The ones I was doing was just like, like, so I'm being very careful right now. Like, okay, make sure you blend it in. It's all even. Utilize a lot more of the negative space, the whites. I will also be at Anime NYC in August. Um, I know New York is a bit of a shit show right now, so I am managing my expectations for that show. I was planning to stay out in Jersey because it's much cheaper than staying in Manhattan. But like with a lot of stuff that's going on, you know, over there, my wife was just like, "Nah, I don't care what you have to pay. Just stay across the street from the con, do your thing, go to work, and then just go back to the room." All right, cool. Why did I do that? I also need to be more intentional with a lot of the like the squiggly lines that I'm putting in. What was my best seller at AX in regards to prints? It was Digimon. I'm sure you all will be happy to hear that. Digimon dominated, like landslide. I gotta mention everyone who picked up a copy of the Digimon piece at AX. Oh man, I appreciate it. That that was badass, dude. I was not expecting such. And by landslide, I mean like it like demolished all my other prints. Like Pokemon, Dragon Ball, Yu-Gi-Oh, all of them did well. But my god, dude, like anytime I drive to a convention, I always bring like an excessive amount of prints with me. I had to dig into like my backup stores of Digimon prints that I had with me. What? You're whining a lot today. Gotta wait. Gotta wait. So anyway, if you have picked up a copy of that Digimon print, whether it was at a convention or just like online, dude, I appreciate it because I'm a huge Digimon fan, and I'm very happy with how that one came out. Like very happy with how that Digimon drawing came out. It's because he's like leaning forward. A lot of this, especially under the pictorial, like a lot of this should almost all be in shadow. This isn't like a normal person. This is like this is a big this is a big body that you're looking at. And when he's hunched forward like this, with the lights coming from there, you can always just put everything on the lower part of the torso in shadow. I don't mean like black shadow, just like there. I'm not even gonna like elaborate on that. I'm just gonna leave it like that. Very cool. The great print. Did you see that guy that had that diamond millennium necklace? Nuh-uh. You're gonna head out, keep up the great work. Been following you for years. It's good to see your business is still booming and that you are happy. J man, thank you. Yeah, I a lot of those grumpy things are gone now. But thanks for hanging out. You guys want to hear a grumpy rant that I had recently? You guys know Tim? He used to hang out here on the stream. He's a busy dude now though, so he doesn't really hang out here much. He's also in the Discord. Anyway, um, I did I did an interview with him for his YouTube channel, and I'm talking about like this was like 2 weeks ago. This is really recent, and I must have been like all jacked up or whatever when we did that interview because I was just I was like, "Oh, fuck that guy, fuck that." It's just like, so if you guys want a little glimpse of old grumpy me, you can go find that interview. Now I don't know if he edited it down because I didn't go back and listen to it. Why do I need to listen to it? I was there, right? Um, yeah. So unless he edited out like 80% of what I was talking about. Like after we finished the interview, I was just like, oh man, I'm tired. What happened? What happened? Yeah, was he doing? Let me guess. Before I look up, I ain't even gotta look. It's because he had figure drawing and quote nudity, right? Did he got hit for that? That's the universe doing me a favor, saying like, that was the universe saying, Chris, you're doing well. Why you gonna fuck it up by saying some stupid shit on this interview? I'm gonna help you out one more time. This is the universe. I'm gonna help you out one more time. We're gonna yeet his whole channel. That's what the whole fucking that sucks, dude. That's why, right? That's what. That's some bullshit, dude. You could put up like a highlight reel of just random TikToks and upload it onto YouTube, and that would be, you know what I mean? Like in regards to like not family friendly content, that is way worse than anything that he was doing. That's some bullshit. That said, YouTube, if you're watching, I don't give a fuck. Slightly not safe for work stuff. There's a gnat flying around here. God damn it, dude. That sucks. I know his channel is finally, you know what it was? It's because his channel is starting to pick up steam. I know he was getting a lot more views. Um, that sucks, man. He how, also, how do you not have backups? Like it sucks that that happened, but real talk on a separate thing, how do you not have backups? Lesson learned. I got two 14 terabyte drives that are basically full. One of the only reasons I haven't expanded and bought new drives is because My PC case can only hold two hard drives. Like it has space for SSDs, but it doesn't have only have two slots for spinning drives. So I'm like, man, and I don't like to use like the external drives. I like to have like I have to have like the SATA drive. So I'm just like, man, this means I gotta buy a new case. If I get a new case and I'm taking the motherboard out, I may as well upgrade my CPU. If I do that, I gotta upgrade my cooler. If I'm gonna do that, I may as well upgrade on my fan. You know, like I just go on this fucking or I just don't do anything. My wife's being a bad influence on me. I told her I'm just like, hey, we're trying to save for a house right now. I ain't trying to spend money on some stupid shit. And she's just like, hey, because okay, I don't buy shit for myself, and my wife hates it because I'll buy her everything, right? But she is just like, you never buy shit for yourself. I'm like, what do I need? I get to draw for a living. I don't need shit. But she knows that I want things, so she's just like, all right, if you go over a certain amount at AX, you're gonna upgrade your case and your processor and stuff. Um, and I was just like, all right, cool. Blow past the number that we agreed to. Now, am I the asshole for saying, no, I'm actually not going to do the upgrade, like I said? I am, right? Because that's what we agreed to. Anyway, so my wife is a very bad influence on me when it comes to treating myself. You work really hard. You should get this. You should get that. And my version of treating myself is upgrading my stuff so I could work more. It's not going out and buying cookies across the street every day. How's that going, by the way, Malcolm? Ooh, while I was at AX this weekend, I was staying with my buddy who lives down there, and which is awesome because then I didn't have a lodging expense for the con. But he was in the middle of doing a 5 day water fast when I got there. It's been a while since I've done a fucking 5 day pure water fast. I haven't done one of those in forever. He made me want to. He made me want to start and do another one. While he's just sitting there talking about how good it felt. Mm, I got past the ketosis flu. I feel hella good. Man, his neighborhood was going off on the 4th of July, dude. They were fucking like, they were like blowing up cars. No, they weren't literally blowing up cars, but the kinds of explosions they were doing, you like blow up a car with the bullshit they were doing. I was like, this is crazy. Like, I haven't seen people go hard on fireworks like that since I was a kid. It was nuts, man. It's a bunch of Asians, so you know that those fireworks. And I'm Asian, so I could say that. No, they uh, they were firing off some crazy kind of fireworks I haven't seen in a while. They had the kinds that shoot up into the sky, which in California you're not supposed to have. Fuck all that. You're shooting rockets into the sky in a densely populated area like Los Angeles. Ask for trouble. Yeah, he's a fitness guy as well. So he like, man, he cooked me food. I'm talking about food and then put it in a Tupperware. And he was just like, "That's your breakfast. It's this many calories. These are the macros on it." Anyway, back to talking about Tim's former YouTube channel. That you caught me off guard with that. That's I don't know, man. That kind of shit sucks. Because we be doing figure drawing. We do figure drawing here often. Okay. Now here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. My figure drawings, I never draw like it's clearly a figure that I'm drawing. It's a plastic figure that I'm drawing. I don't put human anatomy parts on it. I might put a little bit of what looks like musculature, but I don't put like nipples, you know. Um like, you know, I think that he does on his sketches. And I think that is probably why I've never been taken down and they took his down. Or he got somebody really mad and they reported him. Or maybe they were watching the interview that I was in and they got really annoyed because I was on some crazy shit and they reported his channel. Like, Tim, how could you platform this guy? He's crazy. Let's get rid of your channel. That's what the kids say these days, right? Deplatform him. He had an opinion that didn't match with mine. Deplatform him. Nah, nah, nah. This guy said winter is better than summer because he can dress cute. Deplatform. You know? See, we messed up. I moved on to the new section, right? The arm, and then I started hitting it with the blender. Before, remember I said I like to outline the area first. So you guys, this is still me like learning the best method to do these because these are the commissions that I'll be doing at conventions. At least, let's say for the next at least few months, right? Because they're really fun and people really dig the pencil sketches. So you know when I do like with the Copic markers, the alcohol markers, I have like a sequence of how I like to do it that I found the most efficient. I haven't really found that yet here. I know that you could just just draw it whatever. You know, if you get it down to um like a like a sequence in the order you do things, you can get it done faster. And that's what I'm trying to figure out now. He already sent an email to YouTube, but it's completely gone. I think his most recent vid on butts. Dang. Now I know that I've seen some of the stuff that he puts on Instagram, and I'm just like, yo, if Instagram ever gave a shit and wanted to, this I mean, Instagrams are very clear about their TOS in regards to like TNA, right? So you like that? Bars. So I mean, if he doesn't care enough to not care enough, if he I guess care, if he is willing to just put that stuff on Instagram knowing what could happen, I could totally see especially him because he don't give a fuck, right? Because he's hella down. But he's just I mean it sucks. It sucks. You know, it and the problem is they're just drawings, you know? The reason I stay on this topic right now is because I'm like, dude, it's just drawings, and he's gonna lose his whole channel over that. No warnings, no nothing, huh? Not a we this video has been restricted due to violation, blah blah blah. You can't see it in this or that country. They're just like, thanks for the little bit of ad revenue, bitch. Fuck out of here. That's YouTube. Yeah, well, before we did the interview, Tim was telling me, and Tim's a really hardworking artist, by the way. He really really practices a lot. That's why I fuck with him. Um, we before the interview, we were talking about like how much his channel is really taking off, and I was like, ah, good. Someone who's not doing a little fucking dance. Who's there's only like, God, there's only like two kinds of artists who are really really taking off these days. It's the ones who are doing a little shuffle in front of the camera, or it's the ones who are trying to sell you on how to make money as an artist. Not going to drop any names, but you guys want to be there's a really big business uh especially I mean this is for everybody, but we're talking specifically it targets artists here. Um this is how I made $100,000 in 1 month as a stay-at-home artist with no experience and I'm not good at drawing. You know, like this huge set of people. You know what they sell? They're not selling you. They're not selling you. Look, when the concept of like Uber came out, they're not selling you the service. They were selling you your time, right? Because then you ain't gotta wait for a cab. You ain't gotta drive anywhere. They're selling you time. These artists who have these channels specifically built around how to make X amount of money at home. I'm not talking about people like Mokena who are telling you how to make money in the artist alley. That's different because they're telling you, look, if you're gonna go out and work, this is kind of the best strategy to do it. I'm talking about people who are like, they're selling you, they're selling you the dream, and they're profiting off of it. So if there's an artist and their entire channel revolves around just that, and there's no painting, there's no drawing, and you go try and find their profile, their portfolio, and it's either small or it's like mediocre, scam. Hold on. What? You hear my dog whining? What's up? What's up? some water. Oh, she knows the word water. All right. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Got the dog some water and some food. And your boy got some raisins. How's everyone? Welcome. If you're just tuning in, we're moving very, very slowly on some commissions I picked up at Anime Expo this weekend. Wow, you heard some mixed feelings about AX. You're talking about from the artist side. Talking about from the artist side. Yeah. You know, it definitely felt foot traffic felt a lot slower this year for sure. But it's hard for me to gauge. I can only speak for myself, but this is like the farthest back my table has been in the room since like 2016. No, 2017 rather. Um, so I can't speak for attendees because I was not one. Um, but from what I've heard from attendees, they really liked it because it was much more organized this year than it's ever been. There were a lot of entrances and all that stuff. So I don't know. From what I've heard from attendees, it was pretty smooth. Um, as an artist, I could tell the foot traffic was a lot lower. Again, it might be because I was in the back of the room, but I mean, my numbers. There's only I've only done two other AXs where I did higher numbers than what I did this weekend, but that includes one my all time great number. Parsley, why are you still whining? I thought you just wanted water, and I gave you a treat. Sit, sit. No, I almost have nothing to say about the show. Honestly, I have like nothing to say. It was I don't know what were you hearing? Were people I heard that people's sales in general were down. And again, the reason I can't speak on that too much is because for me, my numbers were pretty good. Um, I've only beaten in regards to Anime Expo, I've only beaten this year's numbers twice, and one of those is my all-time great. So, or my all-time sales number. So, um, now to be fair, I did take a lot of commissions this weekend. I finished 17 commissions just at the con. So, perhaps I made up um a lack of print sales through taking commissions. But then again, that's other people's fault for not taking commissions. I've also heard artists complain that like they had like headaches or whatever because I don't know I don't know who walks around with like a CO2 um measurement instrument, right? But they're saying that the CO2 levels downstairs where the artist alley were like really high and people were getting headaches and all that. And I was just like, I don't know, it didn't affect me. So I can't speak on that, though I know people were complaining about it. Um, yeah, traffic seemed lower, but at the same time, uh, AX definitely had a lot more, they had a lot more crowd control management. Where, okay, so they had a lot more crowd control management. They added like 5 extra entrances and exits to the event, right? But then they also have had a lot more outdoors events going on, from what I've been told. They had like before it was just like the beer garden and like there's like 1 or 2 things for real outside. Now they had, from what I was told, like multiple places to eat. They just had like there were signings outside. There were like a lot of things outside um the venue. So it was keeping a lot of the foot traffic away from being crammed indoors, which is what they needed to do because that shit was crazy before. Um, Also the downstairs parking lot, well, where the artist alley is, it used to just be the artist alley and an annex area with which is a couple of vendors. Now they moved the 18 plus area downstairs, and they just added a lot of vendors downstairs. So what that does is it now there's more places for people to walk, you know, which is what all the attendees have been complaining about. Give us more space to walk. All right, fine, we're gonna open it up, put more booths out here. So of course that's gonna split the traffic thin. That's just the past few years that convention has been shoulder to shoulder where people can't fucking move. So if it's anything less than that, of course people are gonna be like, traffic is down. Like, you guys have been complaining for years that you want them to manage the flow of people better, and when they finally do, oh, fuck this con, fuck out of here. Have I tried? I did not try the beer garden this year, but I have been to the beer garden in the past. It's fun. It's a nice chill spot. Maybe I'll get back into X. Yeah, if you get back in, do it. It was so smooth. Like everything was smooth at the show. And like let's say hypothetically um attendance was down, and I know a lot of people, because the way it was managed or not managed in 2023 was so bad. I know firsthand a lot of people who didn't go this year, attendees who didn't go this year just because they didn't want to deal with the crowds. Well, guess what? That's just what happens, man. But now that they have got their shit together, maybe those people come back because of good word of mouth. I don't know. This is that crazy convention shit that I used to obsess over. And even though I don't really, because it's just a job to me now, right? I clock in, clock out. Um, like without really thinking about it too much, even I came to this conclusion, which means, man, if people are complaining about it, they got nothing going on. So too long didn't read. I thought it was good. So what were you hearing? So what were you hearing from other artists? Just about the foot traffic. Again, it's just like, what the fuck do you want? They controlled the crowd really well this year, and they gave them other places to go, so they're not all fucking sardine canned together. Which is this is just everything that people wanted. That's it. They finally got their act together and gave the people what they wanted and made it a safer environment. Like, all I gotta say is I don't like to go to the bathroom when I'm tabling because I don't want to miss any sales. Um, but with AX, a lot of the times I just, like didn't even want to try to go to the bathroom because there was so many people. I was able to just walk straight to there, walk straight back. Didn't have to fight. Oh, you're talking about really popular artists who had like lines wrapping around their booth. Um, I mean, that's just one of those situations where it's just like, should the artist be responsible for managing that line? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Um, you would, like, is what it is. You just, whoa, this is a lot more fans than I thought I was gonna have. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And then you can't have them standing in the middle of the lane because it's a fucking fire hazard. Con will get in trouble if they let you block the lane. Of course, they're gonna tell you, move along, sir. You know what I mean? Think they trying to get into heat with the fire marshal because people want to pick up your print? Hell nah. Hell no. They're gonna tell you to move along, sir. Oh yeah, cease and desist at exhibitors, but that's not new. That's not new at all. I think every year I've had a friend. They didn't get hit with the C and D, but they did get hit with the take that down because I don't know how they did it this year, but traditionally exhibitors in AX is if they catch you with something, they will tell you to take it down, and when you take it down, it has to be out of sight. Like you can't just move it to the back and like if you have a T-shirt that has like Saitama on it, and they're just like, no, you better take that down. All right, you can't just like take them off the display, fold them up, and just sit them behind you. They have to be gone out of sight. So, you know, I've heard some story. I saw some stuff online too about some people who were hit with cease and desist. I didn't really follow up with it because I was just like, that's probably your fault, you know. Um, and not just AX, like every con that I've ever been to, where you hear stories about cease and desist, they always tell you to take it down. Yo, Wonder Logic, all right, man. Yeah, every convention I've been to, they'll always just tell you to take it down first. And if you don't play ball, what do you think they're gonna do? They're gonna kick you. So yeah, every AX there's some C and D stuff, but it's not new. And I always blame the person. First off, going into exhibitors, like before the show even starts, you go into exhibitors and you have, you know, like unlicensed stuff. Man, you were all you no parsley. You already playing a dangerous game. You already knew what was up. You went in there anyway, you know. So it's just like I have a funny story about cease and desist in the exhibitor hall, though. I have a funny story. Yo, thank you for what happened? Did we get a raid? Hey, what's going on? We're talking about Anime Expo. Hope everyone's doing well. Welcome. Just I just came back from Anime Expo and I have a few commissions to do. This foot is like really big, right? Compared to this one. Hope everyone's doing well. So this is a commission that I picked up at Anime Expo, but it's for my buddy. So we're just taking a little bit more time. Thank you for the raid, by the way. I appreciate it. Mm. I would like to push the shadows a little bit harder, and you're getting quite a bit of glare. My bad. I adjusted the ISO on my camera and didn't field test it before we started the stream. Um. Anyway, so I just noticed my wife is awake, and you guys know I still play a little bit of nurse, taking care of her. So this was a fun stream. We will be coming back on later tonight to work on the rest of the commissions. This I just wanted to sneak in a little morning stream. But yeah, I definitely need to finish all of these graphite commissions I picked up at Anime Expo by the end of tomorrow. And we have the Patreon sketches to do. So we're going to be back on to get back to work, but that's going to be later. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for the raid. You guys came a little late. I appreciate it anyway. So, see you guys in a few hours.